YouTubers, this is Garrowin again. We're back here on my property on the ridgeline. We brought this is just gonna be a video blog for the day. We're gonna do a little bit of target practice. I might talk a little bit about what's been going on. In case you didn't know, I traded my Savage 30-06 for a Kawasaki Bayou 250 four-wheeler. Makes it a heck of a lot easier to get up and down the hills, at least in the parts where there's trails that I can take it on. Some of these hills are just too steep for a four-wheeler, but it still makes it easier to at least, follow the ridge line to a certain point and walk over the hill instead of just walking for 3 or 4 hours. We're gonna do some target practice with my Windham HBC. I'm gonna be using a combination of Federal, can't get right. We're going to be using a combination of Federal 62 grain green tip ammunition and Federal 55 grain ball ammunition, and just because I haven't gotten as much target practice as I would have liked to the past couple months. You can see we've got a nice little coating of ice from what is it, Winter Storm Dion, I think is this one, but we got up here just fine. But I've got this old busted up orange bucket. I'm probably going to put out about 50 or maybe even 100 yards, and I've got some 25 meter zero targets I'm going to put up at 25 meters just to kind of verify my zero. I'm not expecting to be a scout sniper with a 16-inch barrel and varying bullet weights, but I just haven't had some trigger time in a while, and I want to make sure I can still hit the broadside of a barn. So we'll get these targets set up, and then I'll set the camera here in the gun rack, and we'll get rolling. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but we've got the 25 meter zero target. I'm trying to see you up here. We got the 25 meter zero target right there, and we've got that orange bucket. I don't know if you can see it. It's about right there. It's at almost 100 yards, but that's as far as I could take it because there's a little bit of a rise there, and then the trail turns, and I'd have a hillside in between me and it. So that's as far as I could get from here. I could just barely see it with that fog though. But I'm gonna try to set the camera up here to capture me shooting, and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, get the rifle down here. I'm gonna start with those 55 grain rounds because, well, I just bought them for target practice. So if I feel like I'm good after that, then I'll cut into my green tips, but we'll save the green tips if we can. Let me see. We'll load them 3 rounds at a time because that's the groups I'm going to be doing anyway. Set it to 6/3 plus 2. And, well, I'm not really going to be supported here. I guess it'll count as, I don't know, kneeling supported or whatever it'll be, but we'll use the four-wheeler here as a rest. Oh, ear protection might be a good call. I'm also curious, I don't think it will, because it's everything's kind of frozen right now, but I'm kind of curious to see if it'll go through this tree I've got the target tacked to. It's not a line tree, so if it kills it, whatever. And it's growing close to some bigger, healthier trees. So if it does kill it in the long run, it would actually probably be a good thing. But I'm curious to see if a 55 grain round will go through a frozen tree that diameter. There we go. Okay. Let's go check it out. See what it looks like here. So hopefully it should be about center mass. Well, we're off a little bit to the left. I don't know if that would be because of the curvature of the target, where it's wrapped around this tree like that. But there's that side of the tree. So no exit wound. So it does stop at least the 55 grain round. I'm gonna try 3 more of those same rounds, and then if I'm still off to my left, I'm gonna try the 62 grain ones and see if that affects my accuracy. Alrighty, so again we're gonna do 3 55 grain Federal ball rounds. They're not penetrators or anything crazy. At a little over 25 yards, I would guesstimate probably about 30 yards. Because for me, 15 steps is 25 yards, and I did 18 steps to that tree. So, I'm also, let me see. Oh, man. There's a good shot, hopefully. That one felt good. Alrighty, walk down here and check it out. Yeah, I think it might just be me, because now I'm low and a little bit less left, but that was a much tighter group. So let's try the 62 grain and see how they work, just out of curiosity. I had a much better hold on them on the rifle that time. The first time I was kind of wobbly and I didn't really feel comfortable in that position, but that second time I felt better. That's why my group's tighter. Probably doesn't help that my ammo was ice cold. (6/3 + 2). Oh man. Let's give it a second here. Drop it. Let's see if the old one even went off. Oh no, it didn't even. Well, I'm not firing a new one into it. Let's give it another shot. Because, where'd my earplug go? There it is. It may not have been seated properly on the bolt. That's better. It just didn't seat properly. I think I pulled on that one. Let's walk down here and see what it looks like. If I had to guess, at least one of the three is going to be way off because I really feel like I pulled on one. Well, no. So the bullet weight pulls them off on me because I zeroed it with 62 grain penetrators. And that looks much better. I'll take this much left just because of the curvature of the paper. But just out of curiosity, let's see if anything's come out the back. Nope. I'm not going to guess how thick that tree is, but you know, there's my hand. You know, I'm an average size guy, 5'11", so you know. Alrighty, well, now that we've established to aim that the 55 grain rounds do have a little bit of a different point of impact, let's see if we can't hit that bucket up there. Alrighty, I'm gonna put 3 rounds on that bucket, 55 grain ball ammo at, we'll just call it 100 yards because it might as well be. If I can even see it. I turned the white label on it this way, thinking maybe that would make it easier to see, but it looks like it's actually made it a little bit harder to see. Turn our adjustment knob back where it's supposed to be. Alrighty, let's walk down here and see what it looks like. Let me keep the dust out of my action there. Alright, we're almost there. I really could barely see that bucket. I was really just kind of aiming for that orange rim on the top of it there. So if I hit it all, I'd be surprised. Because my point of aim was kind of large. Well, let me see. We got 1, but it is a little bit left, just like they were on the target. I think that's 2, yeah, because there's an exit there. But it's also left of center. So I might be a little bit off to the left with those 55 grain rounds. We'll try a second round, see what happens. Alright, we're going to do 3 more rounds. Same cartridge, same target. just to see if maybe it was me. And I've still got plenty of these rounds left, so if they're left on this one, I'll turn the bucket around so I have a little bit better of a sight picture. And then if that still doesn't help, I'll maybe try the 62 grain. And if the 62 grain are still left, I might put myself up a new target and re-zero, pull it to the left or to the right. Because a long time ago, my brother did shoot it, and when I told him to turn the elevation knob back, he didn't know that that was the elevation knob, and he did turn my windage knob a little bit, but he said he put it back, so but he might have missed a click. So let's see here, 3 55 grain rounds, Federal, at the 100 meter bucket here. Wow, I really can't see jack through that fog, but I can see it enough. Alrighty, let's go check her out. Alrighty, we're approaching the bucket. I don't think I'm going to have a tight group this time, because in those 3 rounds I did make a conscious effort to have a different sight picture on 1 or 2 of them, just to kind of see where they fell. But hopefully, yep. There's, oh wow, no, there, okay, that's 1. So they all 3 hit. One of them kind of did that number for some reason. I guess maybe it was already tumbling, but these 2 had very clean entry holes. I don't know why that one would have been tumbling already. Maybe it's well, it looks less like it was tumbling and more like it hit it like this from the side, but I haven't taken any shots like that. You see how the plastic's pushed up here, but I don't know why it would have been like that. Maybe it hit a tree branch that made it tumble, I don't know. But I'm having problems. I don't like that side where I can't hardly see it, so I'm going to turn it like this. Here, maybe get a better sight picture. We got 1, 2, 3 holes on this side, 4, 5. So if there's anything new, we'll know it was for me. But at least I hit it with all 3 rounds that time. Alrighty, let's get you guys situated here. There we go. Alrighty. For now, I'm just going to waste these 55 grain rounds on that bucket until this box is gone, and then we'll walk up a little bit closer, maybe 25 yards, and do some standing shots on it if it's still there for the other 20 rounds. And then I got some more paper targets. I might do some longer range shooting. I kind of wish I had a place where I could do some really long range, because around here 100 yards is a pretty long distance because of the bushes and the hills. Alrighty, we got, I don't know how many rounds, I didn't even count, but I'm just going to throw them at that bucket. I might do 3 and then go look, see if my group's any tighter now that I can see it. Well, yeah. Alrighty, let's go check it out. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but that's one of the reasons around here. See, here's what I was talking about, where I couldn't bring a four-wheeler up that without just tearing big ruts in my property. But one of the reasons I try to get up on top of the hills or back in a hole or something when I'm shooting here is you don't have to have a huge caliber weapon for it to echo for miles. And even a .223 round or a .556 like I'm shooting will sound like field artillery and carry for miles. And you know, your neighbors don't have to live right next to you for that to bother them. So yeah, that's what I thought. I was shooting a little high because I forgot until like the last shot that at 100 yards, when you're 0 to 300, you aim low center mass. But I still got it with looks like the majority of the rounds. So we'll bring the bucket down here just a little bit. Maybe put it up against this tree stump here. And I'll just waste 20 rounds into that white label right there. Maybe standing at, say, I don't know, let's see, 25 yards sounds reasonable for a standing shot. Alrighty, hopefully you guys don't fall over here. You're just gonna balance it. Well, I'm just gonna take and waste the rest of the 55 grain bullets here. Well, where'd the box go? The rest of it, I've got 20 more rounds of the 55 grain stuff that I just want to shoot just to get some trigger time. And I'm just gonna practice standing at 25 yards with those. And then I'm curious, we're going to test out the rest of these federal penetrators so I can get down to the PMC ones. I'm going to pick out some trees that look like they're not doing much good, growing too close to healthy ones, things of that nature, and see how thick of a frozen tree these things will go through. We'll start out with little tiny ones. We'll go up from there. I'm guessing, since everything around here is just coated in ice and the trees themselves are super hard, that I'm probably not going to get very far. But I saw this on the Military Arms channel, you know, and obviously I had to come give it a shot. So if you're curious though, one of the things that kind of made me curious to try this myself, he tried it with a .308. And the .556 and the .545 both penetrated more on frozen trees than the .308 did, which kind of puzzled me because, you know, the .545 even penetrated more than the .556. So I'm kind of curious as to why the smaller round penetrated better than the larger ones. I'm going to try this just to see. No big size here. Go check it out. I don't think I'll be deadly accurate, but because I was just using my 0 to 200 sight. But you know what? That's not bad for just kind of standing and throwing rounds down there, out there, just to see what would happen with that big open sight. So there's where they blew the base of that tree away. Obviously none of them came through. Well, I've got 3 minutes of recording time left. Let's load up the rest of these 62 grain penetrators and see what they do to these trees. Well, I didn't get a chance to do my penetration test because I can't really find a good spot to set my camera up. I don't have my little spider leg tripod anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and just strap you guys into the gun rack and let you watch the ride home for the remainder of the time on this camera. And if you guys want to see a penetration test with 5.56 rounds, go check out the Military Arms channel. He did that exact test with 55 grain rounds against frozen trees out in the woods. And like I said, it was pretty interesting to see a 5.56 and a 5.45, the AK-74 round, penetrate more than the 308 did. You know, because I would think that the larger round traveling at the same velocity, or roughly the same velocity, would have way more penetrating power. But I guess maybe it's because they're frozen. The smaller rounds acted more like a needle, I guess, and just stabbed through it instead of punching through it. Yeah, let me get situated here and you guys can watch me ride down the hill for a minute. Oh, killed her. Oh well. Alrighty, this has been another video by Garowin. Like, share, subscribe. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them below. I'll address them as necessary. Y'all have a good one.